starting with number 1, Curtiss XP-55 Ascender, United States, 1943. The Ascender used a pusher propeller and canard layout that inverted conventional fighter design logic entirely. Stability problems appeared immediately during testing, and one prototype was lost in a fatal accident. Stall behavior was dangerously unpredictable and could not be corrected within the program's timeline. By the time partial fixes were applied, conventional designs had surpassed it in every performance category. The program was canceled in 1944, leaving nothing of operational value behind. 2. Northrop XP-56 Black Bullet, United States, 1943. The XP-56 was a tailless flying wing fighter that suffered from dangerous yaw instability throughout its test life. During a high-speed ground run, a tire failure caused the aircraft to roll violently, seriously injuring its pilot. Performance never approached specifications, and the handling characteristics made operational use unthinkable. Only 2 prototypes were completed before the Army Air Forces concluded the design had no viable path to combat service. 3. Fisher XP-75 Eagle, United States, 1943. Designed to be rapidly assembled from existing aircraft components, the XP-75 was supposed to deliver a capable escort fighter quickly and economically. Instead, it exhibited instability, dangerous spin characteristics, and poor high-altitude performance. Multiple crashes during testing caused pilot injuries and raised serious safety concerns. The Army concluded the aircraft was inferior to fighters already in production in every meaningful category and canceled the contract, writing off millions in development expenditure. 4. McDonnell XP-67 Moombat, United States, 1944. The XP-67 was an interceptor with a blended fuselage intended to generate supplemental aerodynamic lift. Engine cooling problems were persistent and unresolved throughout the entire test program. The sole prototype was destroyed by an engine fire during a flight before performance targets were ever approached. The program ended without producing anything of operational significance, though the effort opened a working relationship between McDonnell and the Army Air Forces that would prove consequential later. 5. Heinkel He-280 Germany, 1941. The He-280 was the world's first jet-powered fighter to achieve flight, yet it never once entered combat. Engine reliability problems and limited range hampered development, and in a competitive evaluation, the German Air Ministry selected the Messerschmitt Me 262 instead. All 9 prototypes were grounded in 1943. The aircraft that opened the jet age was quietly retired, having never fired a shot in anger, overtaken by a program it had predated. 6. Messerschmitt Me 163 Comet, Germany, 1944. The Me-163 was the only rocket-powered aircraft to reach operational combat service, and it was as lethal to its own pilots as to the enemy. Its propellants, concentrated hydrogen peroxide and a hydrazine methanol mixture, could combust violently if they contacted each other outside the combustion chamber. Landing on a belly skid after fuel exhaustion was consistently hazardous. Accident and structural failure losses exceeded confirmed combat kills, making the Comet one of the most genuinely dangerous aircraft ever placed in service. 7. Heinkel He-162 Volksjäger, Germany, 1945. Designed in 90 days and assembled with failing adhesives by a collapsing industrial system, the He-162 was intended to be flown by inexperienced pilots. During a public demonstration in December 1944, a wing leading edge separated in flight due to faulty bonding. The aircraft disintegrated, killing its pilot in front of observers. Its high stall speed and violent handling characteristics made it genuinely unsuitable for the undertrained pilots the Luftwaffe had assigned to fly it. 8. Bachemba 349 Natter, Germany, 1945. The Natter was a vertically launched rocket interceptor meant to be used once. The pilot would eject after firing unguided rockets at Allied bombers, and the rear fuselage containing the engine would be recovered separately. During the first manned launch in February 1945, the cockpit canopy failed to lock properly. The aircraft went out of control seconds after leaving the launch rail and crashed, killing pilot Lothar Sieber. The program claimed its first human life before a single mission was flown. 9. Horten Ho 229 Germany, 1944. The Ho 229 was a jet-powered flying wing fighter bomber representing the most aerodynamically ambitious German concept of the war. During the second prototype's maiden flight, an engine failed and the aircraft crashed, killing its pilot. Production never began before Germany's defeat. One incomplete airframe was captured by American forces and preserved. Despite its revolutionary configuration, the Ho 229 contributed nothing operationally and exists only as a demonstration of what Germany's aerospace industry might have achieved with more time. 10. De Havilland DH.108 Swallow, United Kingdom, 1946. Built to research swept-wing aerodynamics, the DH.108 claimed the life of Geoffrey de Havilland Jr. in September 1946 when the aircraft entered compressibility effects during a high-speed run and disintegrated over the Thames estuary. 2 of the 3 airframes constructed were lost in accidents, both fatal to their pilots. The program confirmed that the tailless swept-wing configuration carried severe structural hazards as it approached the transonic flight regime, a lesson paid for with lives. 11. Armstrong Whitworth AW.52, United Kingdom, 1947. The AW.52 was a large flying wing research aircraft designed to explore laminar flow and tailless configurations for future British transport aircraft. Persistent pitch oscillations proved impossible to suppress through conventional means. In 1949, the aircraft entered an uncontrollable oscillation and the pilot ejected, one of the first successful live ejections from a British jet. The aircraft was destroyed in the subsequent crash. The program was abandoned and no successor flying wing design was pursued. 12. McDonnell XF-85 Goblin, United States, 1948. The XF-85 was a parasite fighter designed to be carried inside a B-36 bomber and retrieved in flight via an aerial trapeze after combat. In practice, the aircraft repeatedly failed to reconnect with the moving trapeze, requiring emergency landings on a belly skid. The pilot's visibility was severely limited, and the aircraft's combat capability against contemporary Soviet fighters would have been marginal at best. The program was canceled after 8 test flights produced no workable solution. 13. Vought F-7U Cutlass, United States, 1951. The Cutlass became one of the most accident-prone carrier aircraft in United States naval aviation history. Its tailless design and chronically underpowered engines produced dangerously high approach speeds and inadequate go-around capability. Of 307 aircraft delivered to the Navy, approximately 25% were lost in accidents. 14 pilots were killed in Cutlass crashes during its operational life. Naval aviators called it the Gutless Cutlass. It was withdrawn from frontline service within 5 years of introduction. 14. Grumman XF-10F Jaguar, United States, 1952. The XF-10F was Grumman's experimental variable sweep wing carrier fighter, designed to deliver optimal performance across the full speed range from carrier approach to supersonic combat. The mechanical sweep mechanism was unreliable from the start, and the aircraft displayed severe handling deficiencies throughout its test program. Only one prototype was completed. After 32 test flights, it was permanently grounded. The concept was theoretically sound, but Grumman's execution was technically premature by at least a decade. 15. Convair F-2Y Sea Dart, United States, 1953. The Sea Dart was the world's only supersonic seaplane and the only aircraft in that category to break the sound barrier. Engine spray ingestion during water operations was a persistent hazard, and the hydroski takeoff system caused severe structural buffeting at speed. In November 1954, the aircraft disintegrated during a public demonstration, killing test pilot Charles Richborg. The program was canceled the following year, its fundamental concept proven incompatible with the demands of operational aviation. 16. Republic XF-84H Thunderscreech, United States, 1955. The XF-84H was a turboprop experimental fighter whose supersonic propeller tips generated noise so intense that ground personnel suffered nausea, disorientation, and temporary hearing loss from hundreds of feet away. The aircraft was chronically unreliable and completed fewer than 12 successful flights across its entire test program. It failed to approach the performance levels that would justify its extraordinary complexity and acoustic hazard. The program was abandoned without fulfilling a single one of its design objectives. 17. Lockheed XF-84H Salmon, United States, 1954. The XF-84H was a tail-sitter fighter intended to take off and land vertically from small platforms aboard ships. The installed engine lacked sufficient thrust to perform a controlled vertical landing at operational weights, and pilots found spatial orientation during vertical flight deeply disorienting. Every actual landing throughout the test program was performed in conventional horizontal mode. Unable to execute the fundamental mission it was designed for, the program was canceled without producing a viable concept. 18. Convair XF-Y1 Pogo, United States, 1954. The Pogo completed full transitions from vertical to horizontal flight and back, a more complete demonstration than the rival XF-84H ever managed. Yet, the operational concept remained fatally impractical. Test pilot James Coleman described the final vertical landing maneuver, performed while looking rearward over one's shoulder toward the ground, as virtually impossible to execute with precision under realistic conditions. Like its counterpart, the Pogo was retired when the broader VTOL shipboard fighter concept was abandoned. 19. North American F-107 Ultra Sabre, United States, 1956. The F-107 was a supersonic strike aircraft featuring a dorsal engine intake positioned directly behind the cockpit, placing any ejecting pilot in the intake path, a safety hazard that was acknowledged during evaluation but never addressed. The aircraft lost the tactical strike competition to the Republic F-105 despite competitive performance figures. Only 3 prototypes were built. The F-107 flew well, but was eliminated from production and became one of the most discussed procurement casualties of the decade. 20. McDonnell F-3H Demon, United States, 1956. The Demon entered service powered by the Westinghouse J-40 engine, a power plant that was unreliable, structurally prone to failure, and consistently underpowered. Early production aircraft were considered operationally useless, and multiple pilots died in accidents attributable to engine failures and dangerous performance deficiencies during this period. The J-40 program eventually collapsed entirely, and surviving Demons were re-engined with the Allison J-71. The human cost of a single catastrophically failed engine program was measured directly in pilot lives. 21. Miles M.52, United Kingdom, 1946. The M.52 was a British transonic research aircraft designed to exceed Mach 1.5 in level flight, predating the American Bell X-1 program. The Air Ministry canceled it in 1946 on safety grounds, concerned about the risks of piloted transonic flight, risks the Americans were simultaneously accepting. A scale model later flew at Mach 1.38 in 1948, validating the core design. British engineers consistently argued the cancellation surrendered an irretrievable lead in supersonic research to the United States. 22. Avro Canada CF-105 Aero, Canada, 1958. The Aero was the most capable interceptor of its generation, Mach 2 capable, with an advanced integrated weapons system years ahead of anything then in production anywhere. In February 1959, Prime Minister Diefenbaker canceled the program and ordered every completed airframe and piece of tooling destroyed. Thousands of engineers emigrated to American aerospace and NASA programs. The cancellation was widely viewed as politically and strategically driven rather than technically justified, and it permanently ended Canadian independent combat aircraft development. 23. Bristol Type 188, United Kingdom, 1962. Designed to sustain speeds above Mach 2 to study kinetic heating on airframe materials. The Type 188 was built entirely of stainless steel, but consumed fuel at rates that left almost no time in the intended flight regime before fuel exhaustion forced a return to base. Handling at high angles of attack was problematic. 2 aircraft flew for several years but produced insufficient usable data. The program's core scientific objectives went largely unmet before both aircraft were retired. 24. Back TSR-2, United Kingdom, 1964. The TSR-2 was Britain's most advanced military aircraft, a Mach 2 low-level strike and reconnaissance platform designed to operate deep inside Soviet-defended airspace. Test flights demonstrated outstanding performance across multiple parameters. In April 1965, the newly elected Labour government cancelled the program on cost grounds, ordered surviving airframes destroyed, and directed the RAF toward American replacements. The decision effectively ended independent British combat aircraft development and remains one of the most debated procurement decisions in aviation history. 25. General Dynamics F-111B, United States, 1965. The F-111B was the carrier-based variant of the TFX program, the product of Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara's insistence that a single airframe could serve both the Air Force and the Navy. The aircraft was too heavy, structurally marginal for carrier landings, and aerodynamically unsuitable for shipboard operations. Naval commanders and aviators opposed it consistently. After years of failed modifications, the Navy succeeded in killing the contract in 1968 and proceeded instead with the purpose-built Grumman F-14 Tomcat.